Hey guys, it's me, Tommy, and I'm back again with another tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I created this beautiful Nubian goddess look. My sister actually found this hairstyle on Instagram, and she's like, hey Tommy, can you do this for me? And I'm like, yeah, sure, come over. So that's exactly what we did. So we're going to start off with freshly washed hair, and the hair that I'm going to be using is from Spectra. It's this stretch braid in 25 inches. It comes with 3 little bundles. I actually used 5 of the bundles, so 1, 2, 3, and then another pack of 2. It comes pre-stretched. I did not cut the hair. And then for her goddess look, we're gonna add this Freetress deep twist here in 22 inches. She purchased all of these products from her local beauty supply store. So first things first, I'm gonna section off her hair. I'm gonna section it off so that the front is going to be where the cornrows are, and then the back is going to be where the box braids are. The reason why she wanted this look is because she is trying to stretch her relaxer out, so she wanted a hairstyle that she can keep in for about 3 weeks. So this is the hairstyle that we chose. I'm going to start with the bottom of her hair, and I'm going to work my way to the top, because obviously the bottom is where you start your box braids. I'm going to be using the edge control from Let's Jam, and then to moisturize her hair, my favorite hair butter to moisturize her hair. The back of her hair broke out pretty bad. She doesn't know why, so I had to add a lot of edge control so I can go ahead and grip that hair and also make it look nice and sleek. Now, when filming this, the footage that I had didn't look so good because my elbow was in the way. So I'm just going to show you guys what I've done so far. And then after that, I'm going to hook up my iPhone so I can show you guys how I created the knotless braids. Now, if you don't know how to do knotless braids, or it's your first time doing box braids, my huge tip would definitely be when you're parting your hair to always part above the box below. So as you can see, the box below that row, I'm parting above it, splitting the hair in the middle. When you do this way, your braids actually fall in between the parts and there's no spaces in your hair or your client's hair. I'm gonna go ahead and add that jam to the roots of her hair, and then she has the extensions already sectioned out, so I'm gonna start off braiding her hair, and then I'm gonna keep asking her for the extensions and then I'm gonna feed them in. If you want to know about how much hair you need to put in, I'm not going to tell you how many I did for my braid because your client's head or your head might be different. But a rule of thumb would definitely be is to keep adding hair until you get to the thickness that you want the braid to be. So not every braid that I did on her hair had the same amount of extensions in it, but I wanted to make sure that it was all the thickness because I didn't divide the hair the same way for each braid. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab this Freetress hair. I'm gonna have her hold one side of it, and I'm gonna braid the hair with the rest of the knotless braids. And then I'm gonna peek out or take out the other piece of the curly hair to make my goddess look. So you see me braiding down. And you just use your judgment on where you want like the curly hair to stand out on. And now I'm gonna take that curly hair, I'm gonna have her hold that, and then I'm gonna continue to braid down. So that's how you get the curly hair to just peek out in your box braids, or just your braids in general. And I'm gonna continue to braid all the way down until I'm at the end, which I really love the pre-stretched hair because you don't have to worry about the braids unraveling. So now we're gonna work with the front of her hair. As you can see, it got dark already. And plus we stopped a few times because I had to feed my daughter. But we're gonna go ahead and work with the front. I'm gonna do diagonal parts on the side, and then we're gonna have a middle braid in the middle, obviously because it's a middle braid. So we're gonna start off with the side, and I'm just gonna show you guys exactly how I do like the front part of my cornrows. I always do it a little bit differently because everyone's edges are very fragile. So I try to make sure that I'm very, very light-handed when it comes towards gripping every piece of hair. So what I usually do is I usually just 2-strand twist the front where the edges are, and then I go ahead and proceed to cornrow it. Since this is the side and I want it to be just a little thick but not too obvious that I added extensions in there, I'm gonna do the feed-in method for this piece. Since my sister is holding my daughter, she can't help me out with the braid, so I'm gonna have to do it myself. But what we're gonna go ahead and do is once you get your braid started, you're gonna start off with a really, really small piece of extension. You're gonna add it in there. You're gonna hold one side away. You're gonna braid down just a little bit, and then you're gonna grab the other side and feed it in with the rest. And that way it hides the fact that you are feeding in extensions. So I'm just gonna keep doing that process until I get to the end of the hair. Again, use your own judgment on how much extensions you wanna use. It depends on how thick you want the braid to be. Now with the rest of her hair, like once I get towards the middle, her hair gets a little bit thicker and a little bit longer, so I don't need to use the feed-in method. I'm gonna just braid her hair regularly and then add the extensions when I get towards the end. So, and I'll show you guys exactly how I did that. Now with the middle, her middle part is kind of thick. So what I did is I did the triangle in the front parting. I don't know what happened to the footage showing you guys how I did that crisscross in the front. But anyway, so this is the middle part. That little piece that's on her bang area, I split that in half and then I crisscrossed the braids. So I did 2 little individual box braids and then I switched it over to give that crisscross look. But first, what I'm doing here is I'm gonna cornrow the middle of her hair. I'm gonna use the feed-in method again, but I'm gonna show you guys how you can do the feed-in method with your client helping you out. So basically, I'm gonna start braiding the hair. Again, always start with really, really small pieces of extensions. You can see how thin that piece is. You can have your client hold one side, like I'm doing here with my sister, and then you have them let go and you braid it into your hair. So that's another way. If you're doing it on yourself, I do have a video showing you guys how I do it. But basically you can just hold it in your mouth if you need to. And I'll link that video in the card above so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And I also will link it at the end so you guys can see it at the end as well, if you don't know how to get to the cards. So I'm just gonna continue to do this method. Woo, man, what's going on with my voice today? Until I'm done with the braid. And now I'm gonna show you guys the other side. So on this side, what I'm doing is I'm gonna continue to look at the right side that I did first and just making sure that the parting looks sort of the same. It doesn't have to be twins, just like your eyebrows. Make sure they look like sisters, because if you're trying to make them look exactly alike, it's gonna be so hard. But that's what I'm just doing. I just wanna make sure that the angle of the part is the same way. And then once I get that it done, like parted the same way, then I'm gonna go ahead and braid the hair down. This is the braid that I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna do without doing the feed-in method. So I'm gonna part her hair again, and then what I'm gonna do is just add the edge control to the roots just to make sure that it's nice and slick. And then once I'm done with that, then I'm gonna add the extensions. Now you're gonna see her make faces. I'm just gonna give you guys a disclaimer. The reason why she's making that face is because it's been a while since she's had a relaxer and her scalp is very tender. If you guys are relaxed out there, you know what she's talking about. You know how she's feeling. You know what I'm talking about. Why can't I speak in this video? But basically her scalp is very tender from her roots growing out, so that's why she's making those faces. I am not braiding her hair tight at all. I like to make sure that my clients have hair when they're done. So as you can see, I braided her hair first, and now I'm gonna add the extensions, having her hold it, bringing it back, blending it in, have her hold one side, bring it back, blending it in. And then she's gonna grab the curly hair. I'm gonna do the same thing, but this time I'm gonna have her hold it. I'm gonna braid the other piece all the way down, and then I'm gonna put a piece of the curly hair out and then braid it down. And that's how you have the curly hair peek through your braids. Now this is the last braid. Now what I did is I took the individual box braid that I had in the front, and I'm braiding it along with this cornrow all the way down. And guys, I'm so sorry that I didn't get a good angle to show you guys how I did the top. It's just, you know what I think? I probably think that it was just a long day this day and I wasn't paying attention to the angles. So don't thumbs me down because of it, but hopefully you guys can get the concept of what I was doing with her hair. But as you see here, I did the feed in towards the end since her hair is pretty thick and long in the middle, and then adding the curly hair to the braid and then making it peek out. So you can go further down if you want, you can go more up. It's all up to you on where you want the curly hair to be. Just use your judgment on what you want the finished product to look like. Then off camera, she did add some embellishments to her hair. So this is the final look with the embellishments to her hair. I added some gold thread to her hair. She added some of those, like, you know, the stuff that you get in the beauty splash, so that'd be in the front. She added those stuff to her hair just to make it look a little bit Nubian-ish. And she did her baby hairs, because I don't know how to do baby hairs. But you see how I did the crisscross in the front? Yeah, that's what I was trying to show y'all, but I really didn't show y'all. But anyway, if you guys have any questions, you could definitely hit me below. This style took about 4 hours to do. And I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.